Hey Heal Squad, so we have a question as it relates to our Villain Era series in the group chat. So I guess we're doing a collaboration between the Villain Era and the group chat. So I want to read the question and then I'm going to provide my response. So she says, "Hi Cynthia, thank you so much for the amazing work that you've been doing and sharing such important information on your YouTube channel. You are so welcome. For many of us millennials, we went to university and got the dream job, but then we experienced burned out. And in my case, I stepped back from working a 9 to 5 to protect my mental health while being in debt. Child, that debt ain't no joke. But I know someone who I'll put her information down below. If you are looking for someone to help you as it relates to strategy and getting out of a debt, her name is Tiana King. She has the Pocketbook Conversations here on YouTube. Follow her, even if you can't be a part of her coaching program. She has an individual coaching program and she also has a group coaching program. So even if you can't necessarily be a part of her programs, I'll put her information down below. She has a goal to help Black women eliminate $5 million worth of debt. Right now, her agency has helped Black women eliminate $1.3 million worth of debt. And so I want to be a supporter of her as it relates to helping us get out of debt. I believe that debt is a cruel ruler, okay? There is so much that I know that we would be able to do if we didn't have debt so debt is bondage. Sometimes we go back to catch a breath and re-strategize, but for many of us, it's going back to the dysfunctional family. Many of us do not have a safety net, so I understand that. To many, this may look like quitting or laziness, but it's not that simple. Her first question: how does one navigate temporarily living at home with the relatives who have been abusive and have benefited from one's overgiving? My goal is to get a better job and move out in the next 4 months. In the meantime, how do I stay out of the victim mindset while navigating life between living with a dysfunctional family and running away from a toxic work environment? Where can safety be found when financial independence is not yet fully established? These are some really good questions, and I hope I'm going to answer your questions the best that I can, but I really hope that you are working with a therapist. If not, because of insurance issues, I know if you're not working a 9 to 5, you may not have insurance. What I would encourage you to do, there's a website. Let me make sure it's still available before I give it to you, because I haven't. Okay, it's called the Loveland, and I'll put the link down below for any other lady who wants to use it. It says it's the Loveland Foundation. It's thelovelandfoundation.org. And it says, we want to live in a world where every Black woman and non-binary individual has access to high quality, culturally competent therapy. To make this dream a reality, the Loveland Foundation covers the cost of therapy for our community, provides mental health resources, and invests in professional development of Black therapists. We believe if we reimagine a mental health care system accessible to Black women, we can create a system that benefits everyone. So I will put that information down below. So if you need financial assistance with finding a therapist, this is a resource available to you, especially if you are a Black woman or a woman of color. Okay, so first thing, how does one navigate temporarily living at home with relatives who have been abusive and have benefited from one's overgiving? Now, I don't know exactly what abuse that you have experienced in this home, because it's really hard to heal in a home that broke you. It's really hard to heal there, because there's an everyday trigger depending especially on the type of abuse that you experience. You may have experienced rape, CSA, and so that would be very difficult, especially if the person is there. And I don't think the general society is aware of the level of dysfunctions that operate in people's family. And how many people are still around the people who abuse them. And many of us were taught to fawn. Fawn is a trauma response in which you appease the person who abused you because you need them for sustenance. And so when you say the final question, where can safety be found when financial independence is not fully established yet? Actually, you're asking me, how do I find Cynthia? How do I stay here? Because there's a level of dependency I have. Now, I'm going to say something to you that Tiana King with, I forget her, Rosea James agency may get me. And I am not a financial planner, but if you have a 501, no, not 501, a 401k or money stored away like that, and this person is somebody who abused, I personally, this is what I would do. I would draw money from my 401k for safety. I can't give you financial advice. I'm not telling you to do that, but that's something that I would do. Okay, because my peace of mind is more important, and I would have to figure out a way to pay the penalties, figure out a way to make that money so that I can invest it. Now, there's going to be some ladies in the comments that say, do not do that, but I don't know the severity of what you experience. I don't know if you were in and out of foster care. I don't know if your mother or father had addiction issues. I don't know if they were physically abusive. I don't know if the environment that you're living in, the level of torment, I don't know. But what I do know is it's hard to find safety in a place where people have mistreated you. It's hard to find safety in a place where people have abused you. It's hard when people, even though you are an adult, that they treat you as if you're a child. And it's even harder when the little girl in you is the one that is responding to the environment. It's hard. It's a hard place. Okay? I know that. So I don't know. I think another thing is, I don't know like what your day-to-day life looks like. I would probably go to the library, spend a whole lot of time in the library, applying for jobs. If you still have a vehicle, I would be Instacarting. I would be being a shopper for Kroger. I would Uber. I would do whatever I could to bring in some income and try to save money in order to move out. I would try to shrink this 4-month plan, moving out in the next 4 months, to see how sooner I could get. I would look at capitalizing on my gifts and my talents. I'm doing this, right? I got serious about YouTube in October of 2024. In January 2025, that's when I got diagnosed with breast cancer. I had to come out of pocket a lot, but I came on YouTube. I got monetized, and this is a form of income for me and my family, especially since I had that unexpected health crisis. Okay, so you have to look at monetizing your gifts and your talents. Whatever you were doing for your 9-to-5, how can you sell that gift to someone else, right? I don't know if you're on Instagram, Facebook, or it may not even be what you're doing your 9-to-5. How do you capitalize and monetize off of your passions? What are you passionate about that you can today go on Fiverr or any other place, and you can begin to create income? One thing about the society that we live in is that we have the like the Bible says, he gives us power to, I think it says create wealth. Give me 1 second. It says power to get wealth. Another whatchamacallit translation says the power to make wealth. Do you understand me? So it's not, a lot of us are really faithful to a job, when the truth is that there are gifts there's talents on the inside of you that you need to monetize so that you have multiple streams of income. You also, I really think that once you leave this place, you need to create your own safety and security blanket. That way you never have to go back. So if it's being aggressive about selling, aggressive about maybe learning how to trade. One of my beautiful coaching clients, she's a trader. She knows how to trade. I told her, once you get it down, help me, you know what I'm talking about? Let's make this money. If it's, getting into real estate, whatever it is that you're having multiple streams of income, that way you are putting money aside. You need money, so that you need to create your own safety net so that you don't have to go back to the place that broke you. It's hard to heal in a place that broke you. It's hard to heal in a place that made you feel shame, or made you feel guilt, or made you have low self-esteem. It's hard to heal in a place that made you hate yourself. It's hard to heal in a place that pitted one sibling against the other. It's hard to heal in a place where you were Cinderella. It's hard to heal because you are constantly triggered, and the people who are triggering you or mistreating you or mishandling you don't have respect for you. So it's really hard, okay? And I know that, and I understand that, but I really think that in this time and season, you need to sit down, you need to be regrouping, you need to figure out, how can I get out of here sooner? That would be what I think. Now, if you think you can tolerate it for the next 4 months, then, then okay. But that's what I think. And like you said, how do I stay out of the victim mindset while navigating life between living with a dysfunctional family and running away from a toxic work environment? It's very hard not to see yourself as a victim in these types of situations, because it was abusive as when you were a child. So your inner child is being triggered by this space and by this place, depending on the things that happen to you. However, you can seek therapy, talk to a therapist, work with a therapist while you are remaining in the home and even transitioning out of the home. You may need some healthier coping skills. I don't know what your coping skills are. I don't know if you're journaling, going for a walk so you can release those endorphins and healthy hormones over your brain to improve mood, practicing gratitude, looking at your boundaries and how you can put some boundaries in place. The issue is, especially if you said, they've benefited from your over giving. I don't know exactly what you've been giving. Is it labor? What is it what you've been giving? But you can put boundaries there. But again, going back to your last question, it has to do with safety. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but there's a hierarchy of needs that we have. And the bottom of the bottom is our safety, being able, having a place to live, having availability of food. And so this is very tricky, because there are some people, let me just be honest with you, there are some people who will watch this video be like, she grown, she can get out. If she don't want to live by their rules, she can get out. And I don't want to be insensitive to that. I don't want to be insensitive to you. They're being insensitive. I don't want to be insensitive to you. So it's hard, right? It's hard to be in this place, in this space where you have to fawn. It's hard because and realize that they're mistreating you, they're mishandling you, they're taking advantage of you. And I don't know, when you said to many, this may look like quitting or laziness. And I don't know if that's what they said to you, but I really believe that this is a time for you to really get clear, to regroup. I wouldn't spend much time in the home unless I had to. I would be there to sleep. I'd be there, but in the day, I'd be figuring out a way, if I had to go to the library or whatever, to be able to make the income that I wanted to make in order to get out of the home. That's what I would do. It's very hard to heal in this space. It is. It's very hard to heal, because your healing, and what people really don't understand, unless you've experienced it, is that your healing triggers people. When you decide, and it doesn't even have to be healing, it could be your weight loss, okay? It could be you making more money. It triggers people. Why? Because well, first of all, people don't like change, but also as you heal, it's evidence of confidence. It's evidence of you believing in yourself. It's evidence of you doing the work to become a better person. And there are people who benefit from your brokenness. They benefit from you not being confident. They benefit from your low self-esteem. They benefit from manipulating you. And so when you start healing, they get upset because they realize, I'm losing control here. I'm losing access here. That's why people will tell you, oh, you change. You think you're all that. Don't forget where you come from. And they do those things in order to humble you so that they can benefit from you. And so you also have to be mindful of that as you really start doing the healing work, that there's going to be decisions that you make that they're not going to like, that they are not going to understand, that they are not going to approve of, and you have to be okay. And not only that, when you heal and you make decisions, there are going to be other people who are not going to agree with it. And then those people are also going to try to pressure you to go back and revert back to the person you were. In your healing, you have to be comfortable with disappointing people, frustrating people, people being angry with you, because ultimately you're cutting access to the old you. She's gone. Where they say, Christina's not here. Okay. And so I hope I answered your question. I hope this helps. It's really hard to heal in the place that broke you. It's really hard. It's really hard to heal in a place that broke you. For some women and other women that are watching this video, you may have to move out of the town, out of the state in order to truly heal. You have to go to spaces where your body feels safe. You're going to have to do some work as it relates to what you believe about yourself, what you believe about the situation. One thing I do think, though, I think sometimes God puts us back in a place so that the people can get it right. So you are looking at, how do I cope in this situation? But this situation really may be for those people to get it right with you. Quite often when we're going through things, we look at ourselves first. What is this? This is June. April was a tough month for me. It was a hard month. So many things happened in April. It was crazy. I was like, what is going on? But when I realized at first, I'm like, what did I do? Like, how did this? But then it was like, no, they were getting the opportunity to apologize and get it right with me. That's what it was about. And you going home, even though all of this, the things that's happening on your job, you got debt, all of these things were happening. This may be an opportunity for people who have hurt you, depending on what happened, to look at you, to apologize to you, to acknowledge how they wronged you, and then turn. Now, this is the thing. You may not want a relationship with them, and that's fine, because I don't believe in being in a relationship with people who are abusive. And I don't care if they did it one time or many times. If you don't want a relationship with them, you don't have to have a relationship with them. I believe that's toxic forgiveness. People want you to be toxic, and they want you to sacrifice yourself in order to have a relationship with people who are not healthy. I don't believe that. But you going home really may not be about you. It may be about them getting the opportunity to get it right with you before you move into your next season. This may be a slingshot season for you, right? For you, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm taking all these steps back. But really, this is a pulling you back in order to catapult you forward. And if they would have done you right, if they would have apologized, if they would have acknowledged how they may have dropped you, how they mishandled you, how they misunderstood you, how they were neglectful of you, how they didn't provide care for you, how they competed with you, whatever it is, how they were jealous of you, how they chose one child over you, and favored that child over you, and pitted you against your siblings. If they would have acknowledged that, when God thrusted you forward, or when he thrust you forward, you would have brought them along. But this may also be a season where you realize that, okay, I got to dust my feet. Because they're not going to acknowledge how they mistreated me, how they handled me. They're not going to acknowledge how they didn't provide care for me. They're not going to acknowledge how they lie on me. They're not going to acknowledge how they manipulated me. They're not going to acknowledge how they told everybody I was fast. My mom is not going to acknowledge how that man touched me and she's still with him and she married him. They're not going to acknowledge that. They're not going to acknowledge how they talk about me to family and plot and plan and scheme, and now they got family looking at me south. They're not going to acknowledge that. So you got to dust your feet. And when you are thrusted forward, you can't, some people have survivor's remorse. Some people have guilt because they made it out. But sometimes the reason why you can't bring people with you, or when they call you, they're like, oh, I did this, you did take care of me financially, but you also mistreated me, you mishandled me, you adversely impacted my mental health. And you were intentional in doing that to me. You intentionally hurt me. You intentionally neglected me. You intentionally did not provide care for me. You were intentional with it. And so now that I've moved forward, and see, there are going to be some people be like, no, don't do that, because what would God want you to do? God would want you to help them. God would want them to treat me with dignity and respect and not abuse me. And that's spiritual bypassing. And that's what some people do, because they're uncomfortable with the decision that you made as it relates to how you move forward. Okay? I'm going to put the resources down below. So the Loveland voucher with the Loveland organization, if you need therapy, or if you are able to donate so that other Black women are able to receive therapy, I encourage you to donate to them. And then also, if you are a woman and you want to get out of debt and you need some information, I want to connect you to the Rosea James firm and support their mission of helping Black women get out of $5 million worth of debt. What would that do to our spending power? I think it's let me 1 second. Let me look this up. I don't know if it's 1 trillion or 12 trillion. Okay, Black American spending power is estimated to be approximately 2 trillion, representing roughly 9 to 10% of the nation's total buying power. It says, now this is just AI, so it could be wrong. Well, Black Wall Street, off of Black Wall Street, it says the collective buying power of Black Americans is projected to surpass 2 trillion, with forecasts expecting it to reach between 2.5 trillion and 3 trillion by 2030. Okay, which is just that it's within a couple years. So imagine us as women being able to reduce our debt by $5 million. That gives us more spending power. That gives us more power to be able to fund not just Black girl luxury, but for us to be able to fund the things that are important to us. So like the Loveland Foundation, to be able to fund them, to be able to fund and to fill the gap in our communities, whether it's a mother that needs, there's another organization called Helping Mamas that I love, that provides diapers and formula for mothers who don't have the ability to take care of their children. What happens when we reduce our debt and we have a safety net for ourselves, right? Safety net, we got it, whatever safety net looks like to you, right? You have a year's worth of salary saved, but now you're able to support your community. You're not able just to support your community, you're also able to support politics. You're able to put money behind the candidates that you want in office. You're Black women. That's what we need to be looking at and focusing on. Okay? So let's reduce our debt. Let's increase our income. Let's monetize our talents. And then let's go after the things that we want so that we can live the lives that we want to live. Not just as it relates to our hair, our nails, our makeup. Yes, we're going to do all that. We're going to look good. But we can really change the trajectory of our nation with our money. But debt is a cruel ruler. And many of us got debt, like this young lady, as relates to going to college, in order to get a certain income and work in certain industries. But you got talent on the inside of you. This is not the season or the time to allow imposter syndrome. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with her. If you still here, put still here down in the comments, because this may be the thing that you need. This is not the time or the season to allow imposter syndrome or the fear of being seen to get you from getting that bag. Over 300,000 of us lost our jobs. We lost the ability. It was an intentional situation. Let me say it like that. I got to watch what I say up here. Got to watch what I say. It was intentional. But you got talents, you got gifts, you got skills, you got abilities, you got knowledge that you need to monetize. You need to figure out a way to monetize it. You need to have multiple streams of income. I'm going to go, since y'all still here, okay, I'm going to go here. It's time out for the sprinkle. And it's time for you to create your own sprinkle. You need to be in control of your finances. Now, I ain't saying mess with no broke. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying the days of looking for a man for his resources so that he can take care of you, no sugar. You should be able to figure out how you can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 7 streams of income on your own. I don't know if you need to garden and then you sell your fruits and vegetables at the farmer's market. I don't know if I like to bake. I looked into like how, I forget what I think this is called cottage laws here in Georgia, what I would be able to sell, whatever it is, you need to be looking into it. I've looked into paying people's taxes in Georgia. If you pay the taxes on somebody's house, you can, I believe, and again, I don't give financial advice because that's not my thing for me to do. So seek a financial advisor because I don't want nobody coming after me. But like here, if like, let's say someone owes their county taxes and you pay it, I think the interest on that is 18%. I've looked into that. You need to figure out a way based off your gifts, your talents, or you just naturally good at it, right? It's just like, I don't mind doing it. Buy you a laundromat, buy you a duplex, buy you an apartment complex. I remember in Columbus a few years ago, There was an apartment complex that was for sale. You could buy the individual building for $200,000. Open your Airbnb. Maybe you speak another language. Teach, become a tutor, or maybe you're a teacher, tutor students, or you are a doctor and you pass the MCAT with flying colors. You're a lawyer. You pass the LSAT. I'm a social worker. I passed my exam first time. Okay. Create a course, train people on the things and the tips and the skills and that you did in order to pass that test with flying colors. Whatever it is, maybe you review resumes, maybe you help people transition. This beautiful young lady is transitioning from 9 to 5. Maybe you help prevent mental burnout. There's a lady on here, I forget, anti-HR, so she teaches you, how to lead that job with, some compensation. Whatever it is, this is the time in the season for you to monetize your gifts, monetize your abilities, and it's for you to have multiple streams of income. Who run the world? Girls. Okay. You need to go find you some branding deals, whatever it is you need to do, whatever skills you have. You may have a lawnmower. Walk around telling people you will cut their grass for $20. It's time for us to do what we need to do in order to take care of ourselves. Get on YouTube. Maybe you are an actress or you are a poet. Get on YouTube, record your stuff, put your content out. Maybe you work out, body built. Okay, body built. You need to be on YouTube. You need to be putting it up there, putting your, this how you curl, this how you do, this how you squat. Absolutely. There's no reason, no excuse why you should be on there. And let me go ahead and address this. This space is not oversaturated. Okay. This space is not oversaturated. You know why? Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Put your hand up. You see that? That's your fingerprint. That's your fingerprint. So that means there's space for you. This is my fingerprint. That means there's space for me here. And there's space for you here too. So stop thinking it's oversaturated. Stop listening to the stats. I remember one person saying like content creators, like only a certain percent make over $5,000. So, I just felt like it wasn't worth it. So I listen, you can work a 9 to 5 and also need to find additional streams. It could be babysitting. It could be babysitting. Whatever it is. It could be if you're a therapist, doing assessments, DUI assessments, forensic assessments, parental assessments, substance abuse assessments, or you have your own private practice, real private practice, whatever, okay? But it's time out. It's time out for us depending on one source of income. On one well dries up, you should be able to pivot, be like, okay, that's cool. It's cool. But I have my high yield savings account. I got my brokerage account. I got my 401k. I got all of these things. I got, my rainy day fund. I got a year worth of expenses saved so that if something happens, I got my long-term disability, my short-term disability. I got my life insurance policies. I have my financial house in order. If I get burned out and I just want to say, forget it, I'm going to take a hiatus for 6 months, I can, because I have that money either coming in or I have it saved. Okay? This is Heal the New Sexy. I love you so much.